Om Shanti and a very good morning from Aberdeen Hindu Temple in Stonywood, Aberdeen. Today is Sunday, 22nd of January 2023, and giving good greetings and good wishes for a lovely weekend and Sunday to everyone. Now, to be a yogi and to be a spiritual person means that we should have knowledge and yoga. Otherwise, there's no point of being that, but you have to understand of how to attain a good yoga, how to reach that point of yoga, and you also have to have yoga in an accurate way. So you have to be yog-yukt, accurately linked in yoga, and yukti-yukt, which means that you need to use the right method to get to that point. And yoga means union, communion. It means the merging of two in one. And two become one, so very, very powerful. It is often depicted as the yug, when two oxes are pushing a carriage, then they are connected and two become one. But it's also in the word yugo, which means couple. And so a yugo is a couple and two become one. They are unified. And in Raj Yoga, to have yoga means to connect your soul with the Supreme Soul, to be connected. And when that happens, a communication occurs, and that communication then becomes powerful. It actually sustains, it enriches, it multiplies, and there are blessings that are created. And so a person who is in accurate yoga and linked in yoga in the right method first becomes aware of I, the soul, the being of light, in the center of my forehead, just in the space between my eyebrows above the root of my nose, which if I were to continue directly posteriorly, I would, at the level of the coming together of the optic nerves, there's a little area where some glands, some nerve glands are, and these glands support the whole body. And it is thought that the soul resides where a gland called the pineal gland, pineal because it comes from the word pine, from the pine kernel, and it is about the size of a pine kernel. And this is our third eye, our inner eye, because the cells of this gland contain the same cells that we have on the retina, which is the part of our eye, on the back of our eye, where the light falls in, and that is involved in creating images that we can then see with our brains. So the pineal gland, the seat of the soul, the place of consciousness, that then actually, together with other glands in near vicinity, control the workings of the whole body. So in a way, it is the consciousness is above and rules and controls the whole body. So it means also that when the soul is located, when I'm aware that the soul is located in that position, the soul is the life force. The soul is the consciousness. It's the spiritual essence that acts through this body. So we are two separate things. We are a soul that is embodied in a body. The body has a certain lifespan that is determined by many different factors, but it has a beginning and it has an end, wherever that may be. Whereas the soul is a life force, is an eternal part of ourselves, is a subtle part of ourselves, which doesn't have a beginning and doesn't have an end. And the home, the residence of the soul is the soul world, Parandam, a place of golden red lights where all the souls are located, a place that is absolute still, where there's no bodies, there's no physical form as such, just soul's presence, like tiny points of light. And they are in a sort of a seed stage, because they're not having any actions, they're not creating and co-creating, they just are. And so in the soul world, it's a place that is timeless, there's no action, it is timeless, and it's a place where we stay in an awareness of absolute bliss, of purity, of inaction, of just safety, and there is no feeling of and nothing negative in that environment, and there's no needs. Don't have to eat or sleep or feel healthy or do exercise for our bodies, because we just are in that stage. And that's our home, our residence, and that's the place where our Father, Mother, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul resides. We call him Shiva, Shiv Baba. And he's also the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Teacher. He's the one, the Almighty, who's beyond everything. And as such, he's unlimited. The same as that space is unlimited. And so he has unlimited love. He's the ocean of love. His aim and objective is to create happiness, to bestow happiness, to bestow blessings. And so he gives as much, it will never end. If you were to count all the drops of the sea, you can't, because they come and go, and they are sometimes more, sometimes less. But nobody can count. It is unlimited. This is uncountable. And so he's the ocean of bliss, the ocean of love. He's the magician, because he transforms sorrow into happiness, pain into relief, into feeling good. And so the yoga is between the soul in the body, so mine or your body, your soul, my soul, with the Supreme Soul. And for that, we have to become subtle ourselves. And that's the Yoga method, is to go into the awareness of I, the soul, the being of light, the eternal one, who is having an experience through this body at this time, in this location, and to connect your subtle form, your subtle energy with that of the Supreme Soul. And when that happens, rays of love and peace and happiness, of wisdom, of pure bliss, just shine down to us and create like an orb of protection, a canopy of protection, of pure bliss and happiness. And that is when we are accurately linked in yoga. Now, to be accurately linked in yoga, you have to use the right method. So what is the method? The right method is really to try and be peaceful inside. You might be even be doing actions. We call that karma yoga. So having yoga while taking actions. So you might be pushing your trolley in Astas, or walking in the park, or having a meal. And yet in that time, you connect with the Supreme. And you just retreat from everything around you. You take actions, you do your actions, but you do them in a detached way, in a loving way, in a soul conscious way. And when you're in that situation, you will notice that all your actions are accurate. They are not rushed, they are done in a timely fashion, they are successful. And so the energy all around you also changes. It becomes a space, an ambient, an atmosphere of peace, of love, of respect and humility. And today in our morning class, we had the example of the tree. The tree, when it is full of fruits, the branches become heavy and the branches bow down and serve by giving the fruit away. And in the same way, when I become full of virtues, full of qualities, then as full as I am, I'm the same way as humble as that. And I give and give without having any limit to what I want to give. Because values and qualities are just given, and therefore your whole demeanor, your presence changes, your energy changes. Because it's no longer an energy that is requiring a person, that is requiring something, but just one who is ready to give and to bestow. And so in the giving, there is happiness. In the giving, there is fortune. And so by doing that, we're creating fortune all along as we go in our daily tasks, in our daily life. And we become also, whatever I give, I know that I will receive back the return of that. And so I do not have to fear of any time lacking anything particular, because whatever I do that together with the Supreme. And I will never ever lack anything. I might not have a big mansion or a flashing car or whatever, or lots of money in my bank account, but I will have enough. It will make ends meet, and I will not suffer. And actually, the life that I then live will be a life that is free from worry, free from the stress of trying to live up to the world that is around me. And so there's only happiness that is created in this type of life. So let us have some meditation. If you're not sitting already in a peaceful place, then maybe move about and at least be comfortable. It might not be peaceful because there might be other people around, but just tell them, I'll have another 15 minutes and then I'll be there for you. So just detach yourself from the environment and journey inwards. Take nice deep breaths, really deep in. Stop for a second or two and then let go out. Stop for a second or two and then take a breath in. Always at the end of a breath in or breath out, have a second or two of just quietness, of no activity. Find your own rhythm. Concentrate on the center of your forehead and experience there to be a light, a clear, powerful light, a diamond, a beautifully shaped diamond that naturally emits light in an array of colors of varieties. Just allow yourself to retrieve yourself, go within and become the diamond, knowing that your body is comfortable, it has no needs. It is well looked after and is allowing you to make that experience of going within and becoming the soul. The soul in the body is like a lighthouse, the light of a lighthouse. It controls, it's a control room for the body. Being able to control emotions and feelings, thoughts, and directing actions, but also creating an environment inside the body that creates comfort and well-being. Allow there to be peace and stillness inside yourself. Allow time to be extended, and the seconds take the form of many, many seconds. And in that pause, try not to have any thoughts, but allow yourself to be guided in the next few moments. Experience the soul to be shining light in all 360 degrees in all four directions, all around you, creating an orb of beautiful, warm light all around you. A light that gives comfort, that gives hope, that gives strength. That is soft and welcoming, that is humble and respectful and loving. Now connect your energy, your soul, with the Supreme Soul, and you can just connect with the point of light on the back of me. That is in a place of golden red light that is absolutely still and peaceful, quiet, motionless. And the moment you connect, the Supreme Soul recognizes and pulses back rays of love and recognition, of wisdom, of peace, of happiness, of purity, of strength, of bliss. And they reach you, and they create a canopy of protection all around you, but also transforms the energy all around you and creates goodness to come your way. Options and opportunities. You have that peace, that calm inside yourself, that you're able to recognize them and to act to them appropriately in the right time, in the right sequence. It is as if you're standing in the flow of life, like a river. But it's a gentle river, powerful river, but it is safe and it is light. And you enter that river of life and you're part of it. And it takes you through many, many places, many curves, many turns, some rapids, beautiful natural scenery, sometimes rocks, maybe a gorge, and then it takes you through a lake, through a loch that is deep and cool and peaceful, with fish swimming in it and birds flying over it and beautiful big tall trees on the borders of the lake. And then you continue your journey through another part of the river on the other side of the loch. And it's a big, wide river, not too deep. And it takes you through turns and twists. You pass sandy beaches and fields. It serpents through the countryside. It gives place for people to walk about and to cycle along. And there are butterflies all around you, birds above you. The sky is blue. There are some mountains on the background from where you come from. And you're flowing to the sea. And as you flow towards the sea, the riverbed becomes bigger because there are many other rivers that are flowing towards the sea, towards the ocean, to meet up at the ocean and to flow home, to become one with the Supreme, with the ocean. And life is like a river. Imagine where you come from. Imagine your house, your first city, where you were born. And how you moved, maybe house, maybe street, but maybe city and maybe country. And how during that time you experienced, you matured. You met many people. And you discovered good and bad in life. But now reflecting back, all you see is just good. Because this is your energy. This is the fullness that you have received from the meditation that you do. And you understand that whatever you give, there will be plenty more to give. And you will never be empty. You will never be lacking of anything. You will be enriched, wealthy spiritually, not lacking anything in a normal life. And mostly, you will experience happiness inside yourself, a contentedness, a constant level of happiness that is unmistakable and is recognized by others who come in contact with you. Your aim is to give them that peace, that love, that affection, that value that you receive from the Supreme Soul when you are connected accurately in yoga. And you understand time. You understand the past, the present, and the future. And based on that, you can be detached. Your good wishes, your pure feelings go to everyone. Just see the people that you see on a daily basis, your family. See them in front of you. Your friends, your colleagues, the people in your society, in your community that you connect with. Send them good wishes. And go beyond that. See the whole world in front of you. And send good wishes and pure feelings to everyone in the world. May they have enough to eat and a safe place to live. May they be happy and may they give happiness to others. Because when I receive and I give, I have the responsibility of giving. I have the duty to serve those who don't have, and at least give them that experience of peace, of happiness, of contentedness. We are all like little candles in an immense ocean of darkness. But as we come together, the light becomes very powerful. And even though each one is a little candle, these candles then start to come together to create areas of love, of peace, of spiritual understanding and awareness, of soul consciousness and benevolence. And as these lights coalesce, they become big areas and dispel the darkness. Because light and darkness cannot exist. It is either light or it is dark. And so this time of dawn is a time of dawn of the changing of the world. It's the time of dawn for a beautiful world to come. A place where there's no sorrow and there's no pain, but there's only happiness, health, and wealth. And so to move towards that light, I have to become light now, and I have to do the service of sharing that light with the world to dispel the darkness and bring lightness into this world. So do this again and again throughout your whole day and share the light with everybody else. Om Shanti. Have a wonderful end of the weekend and see you next week. Oh.